Hey everyone, I'm at my home office today, so I don't have quite as many herbs as I keep at my actual office. My whole family is feeling really stuffy, but not only stuffy, two of us have had a nosebleed in the past 24 hours. And I think actually what it's from is how dry it is inside right now with the heat. So I'm just whipping together really quickly a quart-sized mason jar to make a big pot of steam. And what we'll do with this steam is we will put a towel over our heads and inhale it to help, kind of re-moisten the mucosa in the sinuses, but also to put some of that herbal moisture into the air. Another really cool thing is after we are boiling it on the pot, we can strain those herbs out and pour that tea into our humidifier and keep that going all night long. So this is a really cool thing to do if this is something you experience, or if you've maybe just never considered putting tea in your humidifier. So I'm gonna just kind of tell you guys what herbs I'm putting in here as I go, but there's a lot of options. Definitely, if you have access to any of the mint family plants, I would highly recommend that. Also, herbs that are really herbaceous, very effervescent, things like thyme, oregano, sage, rosemary, lavender, all of those herbs that are rich in those essential oils, which is where they're getting that strong fragrance. Those are going to be some indicators of herbs that are really good for the sinuses. So let's take a look at what we've got. All right, so you could do a very simple blend here. I've got some eucalyptus, some wild bee balm, some wild mountain mint, and even just the three of those alone would be great. I've also got some thyme and some bay leaf here. Those would be great, but just because I've got these things on hand, I'm also going to add a little bit of wintergreen, linden, and marjoram. Linden and marjoram are specific to being really great for helping clear up congestion. So here we go. And because we're not taking this internally, the ratios of what you use is not as important, right? Because when we're taking things internally, we have to be careful with our ratios so that we're not overdoing it, we're not underdoing it, but this is really more for just kind of inhaling. So it's not quite as pertinent as if you were drinking the tea internally. Now, some of you might want to make a pot that you can also drink. So if that's the case, maybe just stick to some really safe kitchen herbs like the thyme, oregano, sage, mint, etc. All right, so I've just added our linden, marjoram, and thyme. So now we're on to the really strong scented herbs, and I am going to use the most of those because I would love for our house to also smell good. A little bit of wintergreen here. And some bay leaf. A little bit of eucalyptus. Now I'm going to use the stems because I can use the beautiful leaves in natural dyeing or herbal preparations. And this is just a really good way to use up stems. And that actually goes for any other herb you're using. You could garble, which just means to hold a stem and kind of push the leaves off. You could garble your rosemary, your sage, your mint, all of them. And you could use the stems and save the leaves for other herbal preparations. Which actually just reminded me something very important. I have this whole giant bucket here of wild mountain mint and bee balm stems. Oh, they smell so good. Every summer we harvest all of the mountain mint and bee balm that we need for the year, and when we're garbling it, we're left with these really medicinal, very effervescent stems, and there's no point in getting rid of them, so we end up using them in preparations like this, or on the inside of burn bundles. So that's something else to keep in mind. Now, mountain mint and Monarda or bee balm are also very specific to being great for the respiratory system. So these are really some perfect herbs to use right here. However, you should use whatever you've got. Even if these sound amazing, you know, maybe you can order some if you really want to, but I would highly encourage you to just go ahead and use what you've got. It's going to be great no matter what. As long as you've got at least a couple of those strong effervescent herbs, then you'll be good to go. So I'm actually just going to stop right here and maybe bring some more of these stems down with me. So that's it. I hope that was helpful.